What's up, everybody? It is Agent by the Forecast here, and I'm back from my vacation here. So, very exciting. I'm back here making videos here. I do apologize for not posting during my vacation. You guys know I usually do post when I'm on vacation, but this was a shorter vacation, only 3 days. And also, due to obvious reasons, I kind of wanted to have this vacation like stress free and YouTube free because I kind of wanted to enjoy it because I obviously haven't gone out of the house in a couple months, so I kind of wanted to enjoy that, and it really didn't do any harm or anything. But I'm back here with videos here. These are now I'm back to consistent uploads now that I'm back home. Just got here a couple minutes ago and I ran upstairs to do an upload for you guys. Today's video, we're going to be talking about the big severe weather event for today in the Great Lakes in the Midwest, where we do actually have a level 3 enhanced risk for I believe 6 states: Iowa, Wisconsin, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, and Michigan. We have another Great Lakes and Midwestern system here that's going to bring a ton of severe weather, maybe even some derechos likely for today. And I might even have another upload later this evening on the Saharan dust air that is arriving for portions of the Gulf of Mexico right now. And we really did see impacts on that, but that'll be later, maybe later today, if not tomorrow. But before we get in the video, please hit the subscribe button. Thank you guys all so much for the support, even though I didn't post for the past 4 days. Also, be sure to share the video to anybody that you know will be impacted by the severe weather in the Great Lakes and Midwest. And also, in today's video, we'll be looking at the timing, who can see the worst, and all of that for today's severe weather. As we look into the National Weather Service, as we do have severe thunderstorm watches and a couple warnings, spotted warnings for portions of the Midwest right now here. So as you see, we do have a very widespread severe thunderstorm watches for portions of right now the Midwest. So Iowa, Illinois, portion of Wisconsin, Indiana. You guys are all under these severe thunderstorm watches, and those that kind of brownish red looking color there. Those are severe thunderstorm warnings. So as you see, we do have some very widespread possibilities here for some severe weather. Very, very widespread. And as we look into the severe thunderstorm warnings in those other counties right there, most likely now for Iowa and Minnesota, that's where we're going to be seeing those strongest storms here that are actually likely of producing some large hail, winds, and all of that there. That's going to be heading towards the areas of Wisconsin and Illinois as we get in the next coming minutes. Now let's go and check out the Spc Outlook, and also check out the radar, see the location, and also where can we see the worst of these storms today. So here you are looking at the day 1 outlook here, and as you see, very, very widespread severe weather, especially in the slight risk here. Very widespread all the way from the Great Lakes to portions of the Western Plains. 1,000+ miles of severe weather threats. But as we see, their main threat is actually for the Great Lakes. In the Midwest, we have enhanced risk right there for portions of northern Indiana, northern Illinois, portions of far northwestern Ohio, southern Michigan, far eastern Iowa, and southern Wisconsin. Those are the areas where we do have severe weather here for the enhanced risk. Our biggest possibility for hail. I do apologize for that. Hail, winds, and also obviously the damaging winds. So that's what we're looking at there in the enhanced risk. And also see there, we also have a very widespread slight risk all the way from portions of New York and Pennsylvania to portions of Wyoming and Colorado. So very, very widespread threat for severe weather, as you can tell there. But our main threat is actually for the Midwest. We may have a very widespread threat for today, but our main focus and what we're going to be looking at for today is going to be the Midwest there, as we have an enhanced risk, and you want to focus on that a lot more. We also do have a 5% chance for tornadoes for portions of the Great Lakes here, including most of those areas under the enhanced risk, including Michigan, portions of far northern Indiana, Illinois, Wisconsin, and also portions of Iowa. And we also have a little scattered area here, portions of Colorado. We also have a 5% chance for tornadoes, so we can't rule out the possibility for some really strong storms for the Western Plains today. Now let's go and check out the hail probability. As you do, our hatch risk is actually for portions of Colorado, so very big possibility for severe weather for Colorado, and then a very widespread 15% chance for hail. So today, I'm not going to be seeing as big of a threat as hail right now, but winds definitely be a huge threat here. As we do have that 30% chance for the winds right there, as we're going to be seeing possibly 80+ mile-an-hour winds for portions of the Midwest here. So let's actually take out the ad right now. So you got the ad. 30% chance. That's actually a decent number for winds here. So could very well see very strong wind gusts today, and multiple wind gust reports today is likely or are likely. And obviously we had the tornado probability and also the wind probability for today. Let's go briefly talk about tomorrow's potential severe weather event here, as we do have a slight risk for portions of the mid-Atlantic and also the Northeast. We have a slight risk for portions of West Virginia, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Maryland, Delaware, New Jersey, Connecticut, and also portions of New York. So could very well see some really strong derechos and maybe even squall lines from today that obviously are right here. That's going to head over tomorrow right there. So same systems, but obviously different outcome, and also that different level of severe weather. We have a marginal, very widespread marginal risk as well, all the way from portions of Massachusetts to Colorado, and also another marginal risk for portion of the southeast there. But that's tomorrow. Let's go ahead and check out now the NAM3KM model, Cape values, and supercell composite parameters, see exactly where we see the worst of it. So here you have these strong storms developing for portions of Wisconsin and also Iowa, which is why we did have those new severe thunderstorm watches issued for portions of Wisconsin, Illinois, and also Iowa. And also we have some spotty severe thunderstorm warnings likely in the next coming minutes for portions of Iowa and Wisconsin. As we get more and more into the evening hours, these storms are really going to wrap up a lot of energy in the atmosphere to just produce some really large hail, very strong winds, and also can't rule out the possibility for some spotty tornadoes. 1 or 2 tornadoes are likely today. I see this could very well be a derecho later on today. I know it's not the most accurate to predict a derecho that far in, but can maybe even predict it as being a squall line here, as this is more of a windstorm here, as we have that 30% chance for winds, and also going to be seeing a huge linear storm moving in, which obviously could be called a derecho. And then that's going to fall apart as you get into tomorrow morning, but very strong storms are going to be developing here for a portion of Illinois. So if you're near Chicago, if you're near Rockford, Milwaukee, Madison, Wisconsin, even portions near Davenport, Iowa, Gary, Indiana, South Bend, you guys definitely want to be on the lookout there. And obviously we also have a very big severe weather threat for portions of Kansas today. As you see, we have some strong potential, maybe most likely supercells that could develop for portions of Iowa, Missouri, Kansas, maybe even obviously Colorado could be seeing some very strong windstorms as well, or wind systems, or wind thunderstorms. And as you see, you can continue to see also that really strong severe weather for portions of the central plains as well, not just the Midwest. And then that threat kind of dies down as we get into tomorrow. But that's the NAM3KM model. Let's go and check out now the Cape values and also the supercell composite parameter. So here we are taking a look at the Cape values here, which obviously the amount of energy in the atmosphere to produce storms, including instability, humidity, overday heating, helicity, all of that is included there. So obviously you want a higher number to bring in the bigger probability of having some severe weather. Just because you have higher Cape values doesn't mean you're always going to have strong storms, but for severe weather outbreaks, that is the case. So as you see, we're going to be seeing a really big Cape value jump here for portion of the general plains here in Midwest. And obviously, we do have not only this enhanced risk right here today, we also have that very widespread slight risk all the way up here. So we can't rule out the possibility, and we cannot forget about the Kansas, Missouri, Iowa, Oklahoma, even Colorado threat. Can't forget about that. We're going to be seeing up to 4,000 joules per kilogram for portion of the Missouri. And then later today in the evening hours, we jump all the way to 5,000 joules per kilogram. As you see, those areas that are the higher numbers aren't actually in the enhanced risk. It's because we have a lot more energy in the atmosphere in these general areas, but it doesn't mean it's going to be a lot worse because they aren't in the enhanced risk. But as you see, it's going to be surpassing close to 4,900 joules per kilogram. So basically at 5,000 joules per kilogram, As you see, 4,800 joules per kilogram, almost 4,900 for portion of Missouri there, and even Kansas near Kansas City, 4,400 joules per kilogram. Very, very good numbers. And then it kind of dies down. But obviously, we have that severe weather threat tomorrow, likely for portions of the plains once again, where we have that marginal threat, maybe even a slight risk to be added on later today or tomorrow, where we can get up to surpassing 4,000 joules per kilogram there. So that's basically what we're looking at. But as you see, this is where we're seeing really high numbers today for Cape. So seeing a lot of energy in the atmosphere generally today for severe weather, just not in the exact area, the enhanced risk. But we're still going to be seeing some good numbers where we have enhanced risk, including portions of Iowa, 2,000 joules per kilogram, portions of Indiana, 2,200 joules per kilogram. Anything higher than 1,500 is considered a good number, favorable for severe weather. Let's go ahead and quickly take a look at the supercell composite parameter, and then this will wrap up the video. As you see, we are going to be seeing some very smaller numbers for SCP here on the Midwest for today. Anything higher than a 20 is considered a good probability for seeing supercells here. And as you see, we're not getting close to that mark. We're only at 8. Not getting any higher than 9 here today, right, as of now. But later today, we could maybe see a spotty double digits, 10, maybe even near Missouri 14, Kansas 11, and very good numbers for portions of Kansas, though. Could be seeing a 13, obviously a higher threat than the 8 and 9 and even 10 in the Great Lakes. And going to be seeing 17, possibly getting 21 for Kansas. So obviously it seems like Kansas has a bigger probability for supercells, but for a portion of the Midwest, we have that bigger threat for derechos, which is why we don't have that very high probability for tornadoes and also hail. Could be seeing most like a derecho, not really supercells. We're always going to be seeing supercells in these areas, which is not as big of a probability or as widespread as in the Central Plains. Let's go and check it quickly here, taking a look at the National Weather Service here, see if we have any new updates. And we do have severe weather statements for those past severe thunderstorm warnings for Iowa, and we also now have some new flood warnings for portions of Iowa as well. And these severe thunderstorm watches have now, I believe, I don't know if they are extended to Indiana. We also have severe thunderstorm watches for portions of Lake Michigan. So if you're in Lake Michigan, you definitely might want to head out and get to your harbor or wherever you park your boat or leave your boat. You definitely want to get off the lake, because it can get really rough. You can see really rough conditions when it comes to thunderstorms in Lake Michigan. Hope you guys did enjoy the video, and bye guys.